Hello!
Hello!
And welcome.
Deaf and Dumb.
To Deaf and Dumb. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dudley.
And we just got back from vacation.
Yep.
We were gone for a week.
Yep.
At the beach.
Yep.
That was very nice.
It was.
It was nice to get away.
Good weather.
Yeah, the weather was very nice.
Weather was good.
It was very good.
Mosquitoes were low.
Yeah, the mosquitoes weren't too bad.
Yeah.
We've had some years where the mosquitoes were really bad. I got bit a few times, but it wasn't too bad.
Not too bad, though.
Only when the wind wasn't blowing.
Yeah, which was very rare. But it was a good week.
Yeah.
We played lots of games.
We played lots of games, as usually our tradition. We invite a lot of friends out, and we play lots of board games.
Yeah.
It's a great time to play board games.
Yes.
When you have nothing else to do.
Yeah. We would go to the beach during the day and play in the sun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd go back to the beach house we were renting, and we would play board games. We brought a trunk full of board games.
Yeah, we brought a lot. We didn't play them all, but we got a lot.
We played a lot, but we didn't. Yeah, we obviously didn't play all of them, but we brought them for options.
Well, I figure we can go talk about those. Talk about some of the stuff we played. But let's briefly talk about some of the actual video games we played. Since we've been back and this week.
I've had a little time to play some games.
Yeah, I played some more Overwatch. I got back into it.
Yeah.
Our brother Robert.
Robert.
He got Overwatch this weekend, so I was playing with him.
Yeah.
I played as Reinhardt some more, which I like. I usually do pretty well as him, getting a little better. And then I tried Reaper again, and I did really well.
Yeah.
Last game, earlier today, I played a game as Reaper, and I had like 35 eliminations in one game.
Nice.
So I was feeling really good. I did really well. First time I felt like I was like, oh, okay, I got this game.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. He's been trying different stuff. I think he
likes. What's he thinking?
I think he likes Zenyatta. Zenyatta? What's his name? Zenyatta.
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. So.
Zenyatta. The floaty meditating guy. He's a sport character.
Kind of the monk-looking
guy. And he throws these orbs at people.
Okay.
He's pretty cool. He's weird. Not my style because he's a support character. I haven't really... I played him a little bit just to try him out, but I don't usually play support characters, so...
Yeah, you're not very supportive.
Yeah. So that was good. It was fun. I'm probably going to play it some more whenever he's available. We'll get him, and maybe our buddy Josh will all play.
Yeah. I don't know when I'll get Overwatch. I'll probably...
After we're done playing.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe once we start leading up to the next LAN, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it on the list.
Get it on the list, and I'll probably try to get it for then. Maybe it'll be on sale by then.
Maybe.
I don't know. Blizzard games don't go down in price.
Yeah, they don't usually. Not much. I mean, they may go down a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, not.
It's still like $20 to buy StarCraft 1.
Yeah, and it's from the 90s.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so their prices tend to hold for a while. Speaking of prices going down, I did buy a new game. Because the Steam Summer Sale is going on.
Yeah, it is.
Which I've completely ignored for the most part because we've been gone.
I kept looking at it because I was like, oh, I love sales because it saves me money. And some games I've been wanting, and everything I see all these really good sales, and most of them are games I already own.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is for me too.
The two big ones I saw, one of them was XCOM 2. I think it's 30% off.
Yeah.
And I really want it, but I just have so many games I'm not playing right now. I decided not to.
I hadn't looked at it. I looked at it the day I realized it started, we were already gone. And I pulled it up on my phone. And I was looking at it briefly, and then I forgot about it for the rest of the week. And then today, I was on my computer. Today's the first time I booted my computer up since we've been back. And so I booted it up, and I have Steam going, and I let's see if the Steam sale's still going. It was, and it Well, today, this goes up.
Yeah, 4th of July.
4th of July was when it ends.
Which, Happy Independence Day.
Yes, Happy Independence to all the peoples of America.
To all the people of America.
If you're outside of America and listening to our show, I'm sorry.
I mean, you can celebrate. It probably doesn't mean anything to you.
Celebrate our independence.
But celebrate our independence.
Yes. Anyway, so I looked at the store today, and something caught my attention.
Yeah.
Doom is on sale.
Yeah.
Which was surprising to me because I did not expect it to be this early.
Yeah, because it's fairly new.
It's fairly new.
It's only a month or so old.
It's only a month old, and so that kind of surprised me, but it's 40% off.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was tempted by it.
And I was tempted as well.
And I edged you on to buy it.
So much so that I actually bought it.
Yeah, sweet. All right, cool.
I'm going to let that download tonight, and we'll see where it gets.
Yeah,
hopefully, it'd be great if it downloaded all tonight, and then I could just play it tomorrow.
Spend the 4th of July playing Doom.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's probably not going to get done.
Our internet's not great, but it might get it done.
Yeah.
Which is good for me, because then I can play your copy.
Yeah, you can play my copy.
I also jumped back, because I was looking at my games. I got back home, and I was like, I want to play something.
Yeah.
I miss all my games. I want to sit down and play something.
Mm-hmm.
And I stared at everything I had, like Dark Souls 3, Fallout 4, all the DLCs, Contraptions out. What else? Elite Dangerous, I'm still playing it. There's also the flight sims. There's I have a pile of games that I have that I've been wanting to play, and I was paralyzed by the decision. I couldn't decide what I wanted to play. They all sounded good, but at the same time, none of them jumped right out at me. Like, I wanted to play them all pretty equally, and I couldn't decide. And I said, well, what am I in the mood for? And I sat there for an hour or so just kind of staring at the screen going, I don't know what to play. And I go read something and come back and watch a show and then come back and I don't know what to play. And I was like, I really kind of want to play something that kind of challenges me, a puzzle game of some kind.
Yeah.
And so I ended up opening up Infinifactory.
I love Infinifactory.
Infinifactory is great. For a game by Zachtronic. I believe we've talked about it before.
Yes, we've talked about a couple of...
We've talked about a lot of their
Infinifactory specifically.
I know we talked about... had one episode where we spent a bunch of time talking about Zachtronic and all their games and stuff.
Because Space Chem
TIS 100.
Which I've been playing.
Yeah.
I mentioned last week I downloaded it, but I didn't actually play it. I started playing it today, and I like it. I really like it. I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay, yeah.
Okay. You want to give us a little rundown what it is?
So basically, TIS 100 is a programming game, but in simplest form. It has these nodes that you write code in, very basic code. You're moving numbers around, adding, subtracting, and determining if it's 0, less than 0, stuff like that. Real basic command. And then you move them between these nodes, and so you tell it to grab numbers and from one location, move it, change it, whatever. But basically, you have an input and an output. So it tells you, here are the numbers that you're going to input, and here's the output that they will be, and then you have to get it from that point to the other, and it tells you basically what to do.
Yeah.
What you need to do.
Yeah.
So then you just have to write the code to get from point A to point B. And it scratches an itch. It's a puzzle game, but it's also... it's a very few games where you actually have to read the manual.
Yeah.
It comes with a manual.
The
first thing it says when you open the game is, read this manual.
Yeah.
And it's not long. It's like
10 pages or something like that.
I read the whole thing today, and I read through it, and just kind of... Some of it I didn't quite understand when I was reading it, but I read it, and then I jumped into the game, and then it started making sense.
See, I read a physical copy because our buddy Josh got the game first, and he printed it off and put it in a little binder, and so I flipped through and read it that way.
I have multiple monitors, so I just had it on my second monitor on the PDF, and I just glance over if I'm trying to figure out how to do something.
Yeah.
So basically, it kind of reminds me of my, just early days of college, starting, and we were computer science majors.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that, except fun. And
except not failing classes.
And so it kind of scratches that, it's a problem solver. And
it's making you use your head.
How do I use these basic code to basically give out what I wanted?
Yeah.
And it's it's each one of them. It starts off pretty easy. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last two I went to it, I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And the last one, I was like, oh, finally I get it. And it ran the first time I did it. So I got it right. And I kind of have a good mind for seeing how it plays out. And so I figured it out, and I hit run. It runs perfectly. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Move to the next one. Have no idea how to do it. I'm on one. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this at all.
I love Zachtronic, and I love the stuff they put out, but a lot of their games are very similar. I mean, the first one I played was Space Chem, and then we got into Infinifactory, and they're all basically, they have these very simple rules and have how to build things or how to make things, and you have one kind of input, and you got to get it to an output. And then you have your tools, and you just use those to either move nodes around, or in Infinifactory, shift blocks around and bind them together and cut them and add to them and do this, turn them and put them together and then export whatever it's supposed to be. And then I love TIS 100 because it's the same thing.
Oh, it's exactly
except it's all numbers instead of individual factories where you're bringing in chemical elements and breaking them down and making new chemicals, or you're bringing in parts of spaceships and cutting them up and making new parts, or building whole parts or building ships. And instead of doing all of that,
it's just numbers.
You're just getting numbers. It's all math. And just a few, you got a dozen commands. That's all you have to work with, and you punch in those commands. It's the same principle. It's just a completely different way of doing it. And it's cool. It's really cool. It's really nerdy.
It's very nerdy. I mean, I can see how a lot of people would just absolutely hate it, because there's no graphics.
No, there's nothing.
It's all text.
It's all
just boxes and texts and you just write code. And I can see very easily why a lot of people wouldn't like it.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
I think Infinifactory and Space Chems is easier to parse.
If you're going to play one of the games, I would recommend Infinifactory. It's probably the most open for people liking it, I guess.
Maybe.
Because
I started with Space Chem. I liked it a lot, but they are both. And in some ways, Infinifactory starts off easier, I think. And then, I was kind of prepared because of Space Chem, but bouncing between them, they are both pretty hard.
Depends.
They both get pretty hard.
Yeah, they all get pretty hard. I haven't finished Infinifactory.
I haven't either. I got pretty close.
There's a part where you're building actual spaceships, massive pieces of spaceships, and I was working on that, and I was on one that was just massive, and I've spent hours building this thing. I still hadn't finished it. I need to go back and actually look at it.
I finished. Yeah, it's all problem solving. It's all figuring out how to get around things. And I finished Space Chem, but not without help. I would there were some of those puzzles that were so difficult, I got stuck on it, and I was like, I don't know, and I'd have to go read online, see how some people. I would look at other people's designs, see how they tackled it. Because sometimes if you get to building puzzles in that game, in both that game and Infinifactory, if you get a certain system, even if it's not very efficient, but it gets the job done, eventually you're going to get to a point where it doesn't work anymore. You don't have the room, or it doesn't work in the space, and you're like, okay, I have to. You got to come up. You got to get your head out of the way you've been doing it and look at it from a different way. And because sometimes I get in a weird way of doing things and I can't stop doing it. And I realize sometimes I need to go look and see how someone else did it. And then I'm like, oh, that's a different way to approach it, and then I come back with that information. I did it all the time with Infinifactory.
Me and you, that's one thing I really enjoyed about it, because we were kind of playing it at the same time, and so I would do a puzzle, and then I'd immediately go in there and go, how did you do it?
And I'd show you.
We'd look at yours, and I'd go, oh, I did mine much simpler. Or I'd be like, oh, God, why did I? Usually it's one stream or the other. Very rarely, a couple times we did it almost exactly the same,
but
same
rarely.
complexity. But sometimes you would do it one way that was really basic or really simple, and it worked, and I would do mine was so overly complicated, and it was just hilarious.
I know there were multiple times where one of us would I would come and watch you, and you were getting frustrated at this puzzle, and I don't know how to do it, and you were just getting really annoyed, and I was like, okay, well, when you get done, come see mine. And you come in there and you'd get annoyed because it was so simple. It's just because you get your head wrapped around a certain way.
I cannot remember what it was. It was building this cube thing. And it was, and I built this crazy contraption. Really. I go in there and look at yours. Yours is 5 steps.
Yeah.
It had this rotating mechanic, and I was just like, oh, God,
yeah, I walked in there, and you had this whole, like, assembly line up back and forth thing going.
It was a huge,
and mine was just, like,
machine.
small and just...
Yeah, and it did it in, like, 2 seconds, and I was like... God. And it made me so annoyed with it that I went back and rebuilt it just because I was like, I can't leave it like this. I have to remake it, and because of it.
I like it also because it shows your friends who had the game, which for some reason your stats aren't showing up on mine.
No, I don't get anyone else's stats on
really?
TIS.
I don't know why that is. Oh, not on TIS?
TIS, I don't.
On Infinifactory, it shows.
I think I saw yours.
Well, see, mine doesn't show. Like, I've been playing it, and it just shows Josh's. His show up. So I've been kind of, as I'm playing through it again, I've been kind of competing against his numbers.
Yeah.
But yours used to show up there. It's not there anymore.
I haven't loaded it in a while.
Yeah, maybe
in fact, I don't know if I've loaded it since I built my new computer.
Well, that might be it. You haven't run it in a while.
And so it may not be updated or something.
All those games will show your... Infinifactory and TIS, I know will show you how well the other your friends who played the game did it, and you have a number to kind of compete against, and it's kind of cool.
I don't see anyone else's TIS. It only shows mine right now.
Yeah,
and it shows the general field, which. Apparently, I add way too much code, apparently.
Yeah.
A lot of mine, I'm like always really on the high line of code, and I don't know if... I don't know. But, of course, sometimes I've been writing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm making this too complicated. And I had to go back, and I realized, I can just take this out, this out, and then it works just like this.
I've done the same thing on Infinifactory, but it seems like most of the time, here lately anyway, as I'm going through it again, I tend to have a high cycle account, which is like how many times that it cycles through everything. Well, not like the whole machine, but like how many times the timing. It's like timing, basically. It's like how many cycles of... Did the starting machine spit out the base units or whatever? And my cycle count's always pretty high, but my block count is always really low. At least here before, I think it was the opposite. Like before, I think my block count was really high, but my cycles were really fast. I churned this stuff out really quickly.
Yeah.
But now it seems to be the opposite. I'm building the machine better and using less materials to do it and simpler, but the time it takes is longer. Because I think I end up stacking up stuff a lot and just letting it time, and it works fine. But I end up, it takes a little longer.
Probably when I get tired, either get tired of TIS or get to where I can't do it anymore.
That's what I did. I got to where I was like, I just can't. This is hard.
It's already getting to where I'm like, I'm not sure how to do this, so I can't imagine. I'm not even halfway through it.
You end up doing complex math things. Math ideas with using only addition and subtraction.
Yeah, because
that's all you have. Yeah. All you have is addition and subtraction. You can store a number and you can pull up a number and you take in and spend out. That's basically all you can do in that game. Yeah. And you're like, okay, at first it's like, oh, this is fine. It's not going to be hard. But then it starts going things like multiply, divide.
Yeah.
Find I heard Josh tell me at one point you're like, find the square root of something. And I'm like,
I don't even know how you do that in basic add and subtract.
Josh
I understand
doing
multiplication. I understand division. I probably can do those. Yeah. But I don't know how.
When you're playing a game where you have to go do some study up on your math, and you got to get your math textbook out to remember how to do stuff. And it's doing something.
It's doing. I don't know if that's appealing, but it is something.
I don't know. It's like we always say, it scratches a weird itch. It's something. It's like, and it's so satisfying when you get your program or your factory or your whatever set up, and you hit run, and it works. It goes through the whole thing, and it works. There's no hang-ups. It spits everything out, and it's done. And there's just something, there's a catharsis there that's just really gratifying.
I've done pretty well with, I usually don't run it until I know it's finished.
Yeah.
And I'll do the step forward deal. It's like step. Okay, yes, this is working all right. Or, there's an error there. Okay. I'll debug it kind of as I go, but as soon as I don't hit run until I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is it. I hit run, and then last 2 times I've done it, it worked perfectly, and I was just so giddy about it. And then I go, okay, time for the next one. I open it, and I'm like,
I don't have a clue.
I have no idea. I have to figure out, there's the next one is, I have to take 2 numbers and see if there's a difference of 10 between them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how I'm going to do that. The other one, last one I did, it was like, if it's, this number's bigger than this number, you do it. Okay, I understood how to do that. You subtract them, and if it's a positive, one's bigger. If it's a negative, the other one's bigger. And so I was like, I understood that, and there's a system. I have no idea how to do the 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to really put my mind to it and think about it probably for the rest of the day, and then I'll go.
And that's the great thing about it, is that it leaves you thinking. Like even if you're like, I'm not gonna do this now, you're thinking about it, and you're like, and at first you're like, there's no way I'm gonna know how to do this until 11:30. But then you have that one moment of, oh wait, I know what to do, and you go run back to it, and you're like, you have
that's kind of what I did with the
eureka
last one.
moment.
I was
where like
thinking about it, and I was like, okay, this is how I do it, and then I actually had to go in there and figure out with the code, and then that one was one I kept making it more complicated than it needed to be, and then I kept shrinking it down, and I figured it out.
And it's kind of a prolonging of gratification in a lot of ways. I mean, you play like Dark Souls 3, and it's all about you go and fight the boss, or you fight this whatever monster or whatever, and it's really hard at first, but then you learn how to fight it, and you beat it, and then you beat it, and you're like, oh, that's satisfying. It's exactly the same principle, except it's more intellectual based. It's more intellectual based, and it takes longer. It takes more effort. It takes more mental effort from you to like work at this thing until you solve it. But
it's whereas Dark Souls is like I learn when to mash the button at the right time. Where this one I was like
I learned how to do math.
But it's great. It's really satisfying. I really like it. I'll be probably playing that.
Like I said, I will always keep an eye on Zachtronic. Whatever they put out, I will pay attention to. And I'm pretty sure we said that before, and we will say it again. We stand by it.
Yes.
Well, let's dive into talking about some of the stuff we played at the beach.
Yes. So first. We synced up.
We synced up there.
So first night.
Yeah,
we
first
played,
night.
Colt Express.
Oh yeah, Colt Express. I forgot to put it on my list. Colt Express.
We've
talked about it
before. We won't go into it too much. Go back and find the episode.
It's a train robbery
game. We're
competition
all
game,
fighting to rob the same train,
and we're playing orders and all at the same time, and then we see the result of his order. Kind of like a Space Alert does something similar to that. Yeah.
But it was good fun. Trey and his wife Brandy.
Yeah,
our buddy Trey.
They own our buddy Trey.
We played it. It was fun.
It was good. I liked it. It was fun to play it again. He didn't bring the expansion.
The expansion and Stagecoach.
And the Stagecoach, which is cool. It was another cool mechanic, and of course, he couldn't bring it because it was another box, and they were trying to keep the number of boxes they were bringing to him.
Yeah, we were not. We brought.
We loaded up your car's trunk full of games.
That's kind of become the trend. Every time we do this, it's just my car just filled up with games because we just don't want to leave stuff behind. We want to have all the options.
We played Junta.
We did play. Did we play that? Yeah, we did play Junta. I forgot about that. Yeah, I was trying to remember everything we played, and I could not remember.
We played a lot. Junta we played that because we played with our buddy Graham. The Cartwrights. Our buddy Josh and our brother Robert.
Yeah, and then the two of us.
Yeah, and two of us. We played it, and I ended up winning.
Yes,
because it was a really good game, though.
It was a long game.
It was a long game.
It was a long game because Junta is. I don't think we've talked about it very much. We have a little bit.
I've mentioned it.
It's a Banana Republic game. We're based on budgeting and there's assassination. It's a very political game.
Yeah, the whole thing is like
just trying to make money.
We all have someone's the president. We all cabinet positions and general position, like military positions.
Yeah.
And basically, the president gets a allotment of money that no one else sees, and he divvies out how much money everyone gets. Yes. And the whole point is to get the most money into your Swiss bank account without getting,
without losing it,
without losing
dying,
money. Yeah, if you die, you lose your money, but then you're not out of the game. You just keep playing.
Yeah, and it seems like a complicated game, but once you get it's really simple. It's really basic, but it can be a really fast game if there are no coups.
Yeah.
Now, coups is the only time the actual board is used in play, and basically is like.
It turns into a little tactical game.
Yeah, if there's a coup excuse, basically, if there's a reason to have a coup, and there's several things in the game that create
like someone getting killed,
or
forced budgets, or
stuff
whatever.
Like that. Then you go into a coup phase, and everyone kind of picks their side, and they fight, and then whoever comes out on top determines the president.
So if the president wins, he stays in power. If the rebellion, the junta wins, then they get to vote in a new president and decide if they want to kill the old one or whatever.
Well, the game quickly divided between... There were 6 of us.
Yeah.
Quickly divided into 3 versus 3. It was you, Graham, and Trey.
The blue party, as I called it, because we were all wearing blue T-shirts.
Yeah, and the rest of us was me, Robert, and... no, wait, Robert wasn't playing. Because Robert wasn't there yet. It was Josh.
Yeah, Robert wasn't there yet.
It was our buddy Josh was playing.
Yeah.
So it was Josh, me, and Brandy. Were the other 3, and it was just we weren't getting any money. Y'all were getting all the money, and we cooed so many times.
Every round it was like a coup.
Not every round.
We went one round without a coup, and then every round after that. We went a couple
rounds without it, but it quickly got to where I was like, I'm not getting any money, so I was just
fighting.
So we start. It was a long game.
We didn't finish it. We didn't take it. We cut it short. We decided to give it 2 more rounds, and because it was getting late.
Yeah, because it was taking so long to get through it. Because we were having so many coups.
It was pretty great because y'all kept cooing, but then y'all would. Even though it seemed like at the beginning of the coup, it seemed like it was y'all had the strength.
Yeah.
But then either through the rolls or because Trey at one point y'all thought he was on y'all side, and it turned out he wasn't because I was singing the praise of the blue party, and
it didn't make any sense. Of course, Trey's playing with Trey. It's hard to know what he's gonna do.
It was pretty great, and I was only president at the end. Graham was president for most of it. I voted him president. I was his Minister of Internal Security, and we were buddies, and he was paying me, and we were both making good money, and eventually it cycled through some other people, and then I was like, I want to be president, and he, of course, rallied to my support, and we both kind of managed to keep control.
We managed to gain control once, very briefly, and it didn't last, and I don't really know why. I've forgotten now, but and it didn't go well, and it just it was really frustrating for me because I was just trying to. I was like, these people are making so much money. Why aren't we can't do anything about it? A little frustrating. That's the only thing I have a problem with, and that makes me wonder if the 6-player game doesn't quite work.
I don't know. I mean, I think
if it divides that way.
I think part of the problem was Graham never died. And Graham held on because he never died. He had a ton of votes.
Yes,
and so that was a problem. Yeah. I think he needed to be assassinated at some point.
We tried to, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and I was assassinated once, and it was funny because Trey was he got killed a few times, but for a long time he was sitting on a stack of cash.
Yes,
and he was trying to get to the bank to bank it, and he just was terrified of going because everyone knew he had 10 million pesos in his pocket.
I think was the top.
Yeah,
I think he finally got away with 4 or 6 or something. He did fairly well.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
We haven't played it in a long time, so I was kind of I really wanted to play it.
I think it would have worked better if we had the full 7 players.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get 7 people.
It just works with 7 players.
It really is.
It works with 6 fairly well.
Any less, and it gets worse the less players you have.
I don't recommend it. It just doesn't work.
So yeah.
So
if you can find a copy.
Yeah, it's out of print.
It's out of print. If you can find a copy and you can get 7 people together, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's always fun. Everyone's always really enjoyed it, I think. It can bog down if there's a lot of coups. It can be a long game, so make sure you have a lot of time. But I highly recommend it.
Yeah, but be careful when you're looking for it, because there are other juntas.
Yeah, there are different versions.
There's 2 or 3 different versions.
Yeah.
So
the one we have is the second print of the original, and I don't know if they did any more after that.
I can't remember the full title of it. It'll be posted on the deal, but yeah.
We also played
let's see,
5th edition D&D.
Yeah, we spent Saturday, the second night, playing D&D.
I ran the game.
Daniel ran the game. We had 6 players.
Yeah, which is probably the largest group I've ever played.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Did you enjoy it?
We enjoyed it. Everyone had such weird characters.
It was a weird group.
We had 2 hermits, and that one of them was a wizard. One of them was what was Robert? Robert
was a druid.
Druid, that's right.
He was a shape-shifting druid.
Graham played a character.
He was a half-orc, wasn't he?
No.
Wasn't he? Oh, no, he was human. For me, I thought he was half-orc.
Barbarian from Badger Island.
Badger Island, yeah.
So at the beginning of the game, he just showing up. He's kind of, the rest of us are already in a party together, and he's just showing up, and he's just this. He's like he's so disconnected with the world or whatever. He come from this island, he knows nothing.
Yeah, he rode in on a canoe.
Which he carried with him everywhere we went.
Like the whole game, he carried his canoe with him.
Yeah,
he was also. The whole point he came inland was because apparently he was sent by his people to trade the goods they have and find people to trade with them.
Yeah,
and he was kind of getting just sidetracked by adventure,
basically. But it was really funny because his whole thing was he from this island and his people like revere bears. Well, it just so happened,
but they'd never seen one.
He had never seen a bear. He'd never seen one, and just by coincidence, Robert's character, the druid, his animal form was a bear. So he turns into a bear at one point, and then Graham is just like,
he's like, holy one.
He thinks he's a god, and it was brilliant. It was just a brilliant moment.
It was pretty fun.
I had a lot of fun. I spent most of the game just trying to get him to fight the mayor.
Yeah.
and which was just hilarious.
Yeah, because the mayor wasn't taking action against some supposedly missing persons.
Yeah,
cases.
So he was like, "This is a terrible chief."
And he calling him chief, and he was like, "Your chief is not, is not honorable." And, and does
and I was just egging him on, and I was just like, "Oh, well, yeah, let's go to the mayor's house. Let's go fight the mayor." And I was just like, my character, I played a rogue, and
as always,
as typical. Well, as 3.5 edition typical. 4th edition, I didn't play a lot of rogues, but I had a lot of fun. I was mostly just like the only relatively normal, and I was just like, as far as everyone plays some strange character.
Trey was he was a cleric, but of the god of brewing or whatever.
So all his stuff
Saint Arnold or something like that.
And
so he was just drunk the whole time. I think he just was like all about like drinking from his tankard, his holy tankard, and
and he kind of flavored text all his stuff involving you drinking a beer and gaining something. And it was great.
It was pretty funny.
Brandy played a monk.
Brandy was a monk.
Yeah. And so she was pretty badass at a couple points.
Monks are always cool. I love monks.
Josh wasn't feeling well, so he ended up not.
He tried at the beginning, but he
had gotten stung by
a jellyfish. He got stung by a jellyfish earlier in the day, and so
that kind of put
a damper. And he was. I think he was a little over medicated.
Yeah, a little bit.
So he didn't end up not playing which I'm sad about. I wanted him to play.
Yeah, because his
I know he was excited about playing.
He played a wizard.
Yeah, he played
a wizard
this
and
weird wizard, but he wasn't like trying to play a traditional wizard by any stretch. He's playing this kind of hermity wizard. Instead of books, he apparently had his spells tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
And like was all about like weird, not picking like all the offensive fiery spells, but like picking like random things. And I'm not completely convinced that he actually knew what he was doing, or was normal at all. But
his animal familiar was an octopus.
An octopus.
That
which we didn't get to do much with. I was looking forward to that.
He was talking about his character, and I was like, "This sounds crazy.
This sounds
can't
great.
Wait to see what this does." And it would have been an interesting dynamic with the rest of the group. I really enjoy the group. I would like to. I wouldn't mind playing all that group again.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like, I like running the game. It's so hard to run one shot for you guys.
Yeah,
because
it's hard to take it serious.
Like when I've run longer games like that weren't one shots that were like intended to be long running. It's more, y'all take it more seriously, and it's easier.
Yeah, we take it a little more seriously.
But like when it's one shot, y'all get a little crazy sometimes, and it's hard to manage that.
Well, it's also kind of a way to experiment with characters, because we know we're not only gonna play on one. So if it's terrible, you
can kind of get away with stuff.
I think everyone made great characters this time, and I think it would be really fun to play with some more and see where it goes if we can get everyone together.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to Trey about this. It's like every time I've ever run a my game, and I didn't do it too much this time just because I didn't have time, but I always write up all these descriptions, and I have all this stuff written and prepared, flavor, and like background to all this stuff, and I never use it because I never get it in. Or this time, I had this whole background about the local politics going on in this city or in, and Port Irethane, that's the name of the city, on Moonriser Bay, I had this whole background about how it used to be a gem mining export town, and that which had died off, and because the mines dried up, and then that it became more or less a ship making town. And I had this whole background about the mayor who has been mayor for a long time, but it used to be this warrior, but then turned politician, but then. Like, he got sick at one point. Everyone thought he was going to die, but then suddenly he got this new doctor, and his health he's still living, but then he's kind of shut in, and as y'all found out, he was really grotesque. He was he was massive. He was like overweight and kind of really gross.
All that stuff was there.
It was there.
We got it. We
eventually got it, but it wasn't like y'all didn't quite get all the details. And it was funny because I was like, oh, here comes the moment. And I think it was Josh or somebody was like, roll a history check. And he rolled it, and he rolled a 5. And I was like, well, you know just what everyone else knows, which is almost
just
nothing.
Badly rolled.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I didn't get to use any of that.
Yeah, and that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Well, and also, y'all are bad about, like, as a group, of just, like, getting carried away. It's hard for me. I can never sit down and, like, y'all enter a room and give y'all some description without a lot of interruptions.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't mind, but at the same time, I like being able to I write this stuff. I like to share it with y'all. Yeah. But I know it's better with more serious games. But I didn't. It was fun to be back in the saddle running a game. Yeah. Though I was really rusty on. I was really rough on a lot of the rules for 5th Ed. Mm-hmm. They simplified a lot of stuff. Yeah, we had to
stop a lot and look into it because they did away with a lot of stuff.
They did away with a ton of stuff. I didn't know about. They simplified a ton of stuff, and some of it I knew, but I was. We played it a while ago, and I just I was a little ill prepared, and like I said, but it was still fun. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. I enjoyed running it.
Well, moving on. We don't need to talk about D&D for the rest
but we could.
Though I will say one more thing. Trey and Brandy's son, who's 7 years old, was kind of watching, I guess, and saw us playing.
We had talked. Everyone was making characters earlier in the day, and he was like, "I want to play."
Yeah, and we were like, so Trey put a little game for y'all to play. I didn't play any. I just watched a little bit, and for him to play, for him, and I think he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. And Trey was a pretty fun DM, but it was catered toward him.
Yeah, of course.
The whole setup was he was a druid who couldn't turn into a wolf, and the whole thing was his father. He had a rich father, and his father was sending him off to be trained because he couldn't control his powers basically, and it was like kept turning into a wolf and shitting on the floor and stuff like that. And so he was sending him off to be trained, and hired us. And I played a sorcerer. A tiefling sorcerer, kind of a demon sorcerer, and Brandy played her character from my game, and her monk, and then Robert played a paladin, I believe. Yeah. And we kind of it really centered around his character, so we went on a little basic dungeon crawl, but it was pretty fun just to watch him play. And he, of course, as with any 7-year-old, sometimes he's really paying attention. He's screaming and jumping up on the table, and the other end he's just like he's busy doodling. He didn't jump on the table.
He jumped on his chair.
No, he did jump on it. He did step up on the table.
Oh, really?
Point. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. And he really seemed to enjoy it so much so that they bought a 5th edition book at a half-price book on the way home.
On the way home, they went and found a copy of it. So
I assume there'll be more play for them.
And he was apparently already talking about he wants to run his own games, because he's already interested in game making anyway, which is cool. We've planted a seed for another generation.
Yes, which was done to us at one point. So.
Well, we were interested in it. Well, we saw our uncle play.
Yeah.
That was the first game we saw, but we had been toying around with basic role playing stuff, like just kind of. We didn't have any rule books, but we just had a basic understanding. We just sit around and kind of more or less tell stories and build a story. Some one person would direct it, but then we did stuff like that before we had the rules for D&D. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about D&D. Other games we played. We played
Caverna. Caverna.
We played Caverna. Which I cannot decide if I like that game or not.
I like it.
I don't
think I did that well.
I don't do well.
Who won?
Robert did. Robert never played.
Robert won. Yeah, having never played, Robert won. Josh was second, and I was third.
It started with Robert and went all the way around the table in the exact side order. Yeah. It was every time I play it, I feel like I don't know. It always seems like it takes me a while to get into it, and then once I kind of get into it, then I feel like I'm too late.
Yeah.
But
you only played it like twice, right?
I played it 3 times.
Oh, 3 times. Okay, you played it.
But they're pretty far between.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a fun game, but I'm still not sure if I like it or not.
I like it. It's a longer game. It can be a quicker game once everyone knows all the stuff really well. It can go pretty quick. But when you're playing, especially with a couple of new people, and everyone had played except Josh and Robert. And Josh had played Agricola, which is I haven't played it, but apparently it's very similar. And then Robert had not played, so you're having to read the cards and figure out, wrap your head around what everything does. And so that's trying to plan out your action, it slows everything down a lot. Yeah. But I do like it. It is. I was getting a little tired because it was getting long.
Yeah, it was a really long.
It was a long game.
6 of us playing.
Yeah, there were 6 of us playing.
So it was a long game.
And I like it. I want to play it more because I think if I played it more, it would get better. But I think that game, it's a trap that, like, I kept wanting to fall in, to focus on one thing.
Yeah, it doesn't
and it
work.
never seems to work.
It doesn't.
You have to diversify. You got to kind of pull as much of everything as you can.
The way I took it, and I kind of did this time, and it worked out okay for me, was to focus on one thing at the beginning, and then branch out pretty quickly later to cover a lot of bases. Mm-hmm. And I think I did it, but it took me too long to do it. I wasn't being very efficient with my moves, and so I felt like I wasted a couple of turns. But it's a good game.
It is fun. It's a worker placement game. We've talked about it before.
Yes, we have.
It's a fun game though.
We played
Cosmic Encounters.
That was one.
We played 2 rounds of it.
We played 2 rounds of it, and that game is nuts.
It is nuts.
It was 2 of the better games I've ever played in it.
I didn't enjoy it as much. Well, the first game I played, I was the fungus.
Yes.
Which is a really cool power because basically anytime I fight against someone and they lose, I get all their ships underneath my ships and I take them with me and they don't go away.
Yeah.
And then I can use them. I can use them to add to my strength later.
Yeah.
And which was cool. But I kind of got bogged down because because we had a reversal of the turn order. It started with Brandy, then it went to me, and then I got the reversal, it went back to Brandy, and then half those attacks were against me.
Yeah, because for some reason when we dealing out who would be attacked, all your cards were pretty high up.
And so I ended up
you took a lot of damage.
I took a lot of big beating early on, so that kind of it was still fun. I enjoyed the power in the second game,
I had the same thing happen. In the second game, I got beat up.
Yeah, you got beat up a lot. But I didn't. What happened with me in the second game is I didn't like my power.
Oh yeah.
I had antimatter to choose from, which is basically you can choose to
destroy stuff.
Instead of highest rules, you're going for lowest, and the stuff you add to your attack lowers it instead of higher. And whoever has higher. So it's the anti whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And then so I almost went with it, but the other one I had was.
The dragon thing.
No, what's it? The worm.
The worm.
And at first I thought this is a dumb power.
Yeah.
But then they convinced me, it's like, no, you can use it this way. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But then
it was complicated.
I never used it, really. It's like the whole thing was, at the beginning of the game, I could pile as many of my ship onto it. There was no limit on how many ships I could have on my starting planet.
Yeah.
So I piled all my ships on one, because if someone attacks me, I can just redirect them from any of my planets to my big planet, where I had a bunch of them piled up. But
you didn't get attacked at all.
I didn't.
For a while.
It never came up because I never got attacked.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty much useless. I mean, you could in theory use it when you're attacking someone, but it was not useful to me.
Well, the problem also was by the time you were attacked, you were using. We had these one of the expansion cards, which you could take ships and put it on the card to basically you build up.
Yeah, you could the space tech thing or something.
Space tech, you build up stuff. Well, you had to put your ships on there. Well, you had a big one. And it took 9 ships to do.
8 ships.
8.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you were piling ships on there. So your big planet that had all your stuff was getting weaker and weaker as we went along. Yeah. So it didn't really help.
Though it was cool because I had the Omega ray or something like that. I destroyed a planet.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. That was my only cool moment that whole game was I was practicing ready. It's like, whichever planet has a colony from most people that I don't have a colony on, I'm blowing up.
Yeah.
And I managed to hit one that just hurt everyone, basically, except me. And so everyone lost a colony because I was just like, that planet's gone.
Yeah.
That was cool.
My tech was really cool. It took 9 rounds to get it, though. And that was a second alien power.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get to use, but I had it. And
you had it,
cool.
Yeah. It all comes down to the draw.
Yeah, it's a crazy wacky game. You can't really control a lot of stuff.
It's all over the place.
It's just random.
I like it. I like the game.
I
just didn't. The first game just was the bad luck of the draw, and the second game was I didn't like the power. I didn't really like either of the powers I had options. So
and that's just the way it goes.
That's just the way it goes sometimes. But it was still fun. I enjoyed it.
We also played Letters of Whitechapel.
Oh yeah, we did play Letters from Whitechapel.
I posted it on our Twitter page.
Yeah. I forgot we played it. We let Robert try out being
Robert
the
Ripper. They had got it to play with his wife's family. So he was kind of wanting to play it to get a little more familiar with particularly the Ripper rules.
The Ripper rules.
He had played it, but he never played the Ripper. So we let him play the Ripper. And it was
a good
fun.
game.
It was a good game. We caught him in 2 rounds.
We caught him on the second round.
Round.
But mostly kind of a lot of out of luck, and then we were lucky. He did a pretty good job. Well, the first round he did a really good job and got away from us pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think he should have picked a different spot for his second murder. But he didn't know where we were going to be.
Yeah.
We were lucky in that...
It's kind of witchy.
Yeah, we were lucky, and I was the police chief.
That we caught him.
I was the police chief, and I tried to spread everyone out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I think he was betting on there not being a police officer in this one spot, and there was. And so that kind of made it a little harder for him to get away. I mean, that's how it goes. I mean,
that's just the way it is, and it was good.
It was
I think
a fun
he
game.
learned a lot of playing. Because he never played the Ripper before, and the first time playing the Ripper was pretty hard.
Yeah, it's stressful playing the Ripper because you're like everyone's against you, and you're the only one who knows anything really.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there trying to just decipher what you're doing, and you're just trying to keep quiet and not let them know in on anything.
Yeah.
It's a fun. I like it game a lot. I want to play it some more.
Oh yeah, I definitely enjoyed the game. It's a good co-op game.
It is a good co-op game.
We also played, speaking of co-ops, we played Space Cadets Dice Duel,
which
we've talked about already. We won't dwell on that.
Yeah, we played it with 6 players instead of 4.
6 players, which added a whole day. I played engineering, that's all I did.
Yeah.
Just roll dice.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good. It was me, Trey, and Brandy versus you, Robert, and Sam.
Yeah, it was one half of Deaf and Dumb on each team and a husband-wife duo.
Yes, it was. And it played out pretty fun.
It was fun. We ended up losing.
Pretty good.
It was different. Like I felt I wasn't coordinating Robert. I was doing the helm and the shields and the tractor beam.
Yeah.
Robert was over there doing the missile and the tracking stuff. And while Sam was his wife was doing the engineering. And so for whatever reason we weren't really communicating with each other very well.
Yeah.
Like when we played against the Cartwrights, it was me and you versus them.
We were
just yelling at each other, and we were like constantly in communication and watching the board. With more people, it's easier to be so focused on what you're doing. You're not watching the board, and then you're not working with the other person on the other side of the engineering.
Yeah.
You're just yelling at the engineering person, give me the energy for this.
Yeah. Well, our side, it kind of felt, Trey kind of took over the kind of captain command. He was controlling where the ship was, and he kind of took control of everything. So he was usually coordinating everything, and I was just sitting there rolling dice. I was just rolling dice. They tell me what they need, I'd roll dice, roll dice.
I got in the mode of rolling dice, and I probably should have taken command. I should have been more hands-on directing, and I wasn't. But
and I think you need that in that game. Someone to take charge.
Yeah, someone needs to be. And I would love to play that game with 4 players because it doesn't change it from 6 except adds a captain.
Yes.
There's one person who just stands over everyone else, doesn't roll any die, and he just tells everyone what to do. We need power here, we need to move here, this kind of thing.
Yeah, which would be interesting, but I'm also curious to how they'll affect, because both sides will have a captain. They're both, I'm presuming, you would be listening to what the other people are saying.
They can
they'll be constantly changing.
Yeah, they can constantly watch what the other players are doing. I was not watching what y'all were doing at all, and I needed to be. I was watching a little bit, and I was helping Brandy a little bit, and we were both kind of watching the guns, and so all 3 of us were kind of pulling triple duty on that, and it was fun. Yeah. Y'all clearly had it down better than we did, and so y'all did better and won, but it was still fun. The game, a little less shouting.
Yeah, a little less.
But I think that was just me and you being on the team together.
I think so, yeah. We'll just run through some of the others we played. We don't really have time to talk about them. We played Machikoro.
Machikoro, I always
great.
Just the base one. I would love to play the expansion again on that one.
Which I think it makes.
You need to get that.
Sushi Go.
Sushi Go.
Masquerade.
Masquerade, yeah.
Which is really good. And then I played something by myself at one point.
Oh, yeah.
I played. It was something at the beach house we rented. It was there. We did not bring this game. They had an old edition, it was pretty old, of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which is a game for basically reading. It's all the game is reading. It gives you a book of a case, and you can have, and it's filled with little bits of clues, and then you have to go to locations and gather more clues.
Yeah, and you have a map, a directory, and
I had seen it there, and I was like,
it's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure in a way.
Kinda, but you're basically trying to figure out who done it.
Yeah,
and you're
just solving a Sherlock Holmes case.
Reading the clues, and you're planning to do it in so many turns.
Yeah.
I did terribly. So I did the first case, and I won't give any spoilers or anything, but I did it in 10 turns. Sherlock Holmes did it in 4, and I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I missed one important bit of information. I just missed it.
The whole mechanic of the game is basically you're just trying to solve the case. You're trying to do it in as few guesses and few terms as possible, and it's a scoring system. And basically, you're trying to either do better or match Sherlock Holmes' score, which is always ridiculously hard.
Oh yeah.
And so you're just trying to get as close as you can.
Yeah.
And so that's your kind of point. And you play this by yourself.
I did by myself. I just sat down and did it, and I was like, no one else was really doing anything, so I was like, I'm going to do this. And I sat down and started.
It's a great couples game, actually.
Oh yeah.
I've heard and read that if you have a significant other, you can kind of go on a case together, and it's a lot of communication and trying to solve this. And, have a few drinks or whatever. I played it with Josh. Josh and I did a couple of cases together, and I think we did really well together. I of course I've read a lot of Sherlock Holmes, so I kind of had the right.
I've read some of them,
I kind of went in with an idea of how those cases tend to shake down, and so I was like, all right. And me and him would spend a lot of time. We were drinking a lot of beer and talking about, trying to figure out the case. And we did okay. We solved the case. We missed a clue, I think, but we did all right.
The way it works is you do the reading, and you're like, I think I've got it. This is who I think it is. And you go and then ask a question. And then usually that'll immediately go, wait, I missed something. There were 6 questions, and the first one was, who did it? I was like, oh, it was this person. Who was this? And
then you get another question, I was like, I don't know what that is.
At all. And I'm like, don't know.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't write it down. And I looked at the answers. I was like, I was off. I was wrong. I got the wrong person. I missed one major location, which was like the clincher location. Like you go to this, you figure it out kind of thing. I missed it. I didn't do it. I thought about it, but just didn't do it. I just thought, I got this. It all falls into place, and I just didn't do it.
I remember on one of the cases Josh and I did, I don't remember if I thought we solved both the one we did. We may have only solved one of them. Yeah. But I remember there was one where we were like, yeah, all right, we got this. We had the first question, yeah. Second question, yeah. Third question, yeah. Fourth question, we're like, we have no idea what. We both just looked at each other like, what is this? We don't even know what this is about. And it turned out to be some little side thing we could have found. But we still got the we still got the main thing right. We just didn't get the last some little minor details and stuff. But it's a fun little game. If you like detective stories, you like you like Sherlock Holmes, and you like kind of just trying to use logic and stuff to try to solve these things. It's really good.
Yeah,
I think I might get a copy of it.
I would like to have a copy of it just to play through all the cases.
Yeah.
I've done one of them now, so I'd like to try the other one and hopefully do better.
Yeah, maybe.
One other game we did play a lot, and this is it's not really a board. It's not a board game. It's a dexterity game. We played Washers.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we call it. But it's washer boards. You have two boards with 3 holes in it.
Yeah.
They're so far apart. And you're
aiming for 21 points?
You're aiming for 21 points. There's a 1 point, 2, 3 point, and a 5 points hole, and you're just trying to get exactly 21.
You're just pitching washers across.
You're just throwing washers. And I'm sure anyone who's ever gone to the lake or done anything has probably played some variation of this game.
Or been to a redneck bar.
Yes. So we played this.
Yeah, it's something our family
does. So it is a game.
It is a game, yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah,
we play it a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot.
We set it up at the beach, and we just play, and we drink, and we play, and our dad loves to play, and
our whole family loves it.
Our whole family plays, and
our mom and our aunt were both, as a team, and generally were doing really well all week.
Yes, they did pretty good.
Yeah, and then you and I were doing really well.
I played pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it. I have to find the right level of drinking. Because it's one of those games where if I think about it too much, the worse I do.
Yeah.
So I just have to go with the flow with it, and beer helps. So if I get in that right mode, I can just bam, I can just do it.
Yeah, we both had some really good games. I started off doing really well, and midweek I was doing really strong, and by the end of the week I was getting worse as I went.
I got better as I went on, but
I did have one game where because you pitch 3 washers each time you pitch.
Yeah.
And I pitched and I landed 1 in each hole, and that would have won me the game. And then because what happens if someone comes after, whoever goes after you? Yeah, you came after me and you pitched, and if you land in the same hole, you take those points back away.
Yeah.
And so we call it covering, and you covered my points, and then so I had to wait for my partner to pitch and get those points back. We still won, but
we had some really long running games just because it was constantly back and forth.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. We usually only play it at the beach.
Yeah, and every once in a while we'll drag out the boards and play, but for the most part it's a beach tradition.
Yeah. It's a dexterity-based game.
Yeah.
That's how I like to put it. Okay, we have 4 minutes. You want to try to run through some news?
Do you have any? I don't have any news.
I have a couple of things I want to touch on.
Sure, real quick.
They've announced a new BioShock collection.
Oh, really?
So it's a remaster of... It was a rumor, and then they confirmed it. It's coming out in September.
Oh.
So it'll be a remaster of the first BioShock and the second BioShock.
Okay.
And then a re-release of this third one. It's not a remaster of the third one, but it'll be on Xbox One.
I was just looking at...
And PC.
Very cool. I was just looking at BioShock 2 on Steam, because it's the only one I don't own on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's on sale, and I thought about buying it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play it again or whatever, and that's what kept me from doing it, but...
It is a $60 collection.
Yeah, but still, I mean...
If you get the but you'll get the remaster of the first two.
Yeah, I definitely would want to go through the first one again.
Yeah, the first one's good.
The first one's really good. I was thinking about playing it again anyway, but I'll have to look check that out.
It comes out September 13th.
Okay. So it's a little ways off.
A little ways off, but not too far.
Okay. Or I might just play the version I have.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, we've mentioned the System Shock remake.
Yeah.
A remaster.
And every time you mention it, I get excited, and then I think, it's System Shock 1,
the first
not 2.
System Shock, not 2.
I love 2. I've never played 1.
The people who are making it, Night Dive Studios, have launched a Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. It's running right now, I assume?
It's running right now. It's at the point of this those air, it'll have 23 days left. They're shooting for $900,000 to finish. It's basically finishing funds to finish the game.
Okay.
Right now they're at 7,660,000. So I'm
700,000.
766,000.
Okay, you said 7,000.
Oh, 700.
That's not much at all.
Yeah, 766,000. Which I'm sure is going to go up
yeah,
by the time this goes
they're gonna
up,
make
but
it.
They'll probably make it.
Yeah, unless.
But they have all kinds of crazy
it'll
stuff,
make it.
extra bonus stuff you can
Okay,
get. By
I haven't looked at it yet. I need to. I remember watching the videos of the material for the remake when we first heard about they were doing a remake of it.
Apparently, pretty good. The demo, they have a demo, I think, out for it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you can get it or not. I should have looked that up, but it's apparently pretty good. But you can get the base game for like $40.
Yeah,
just the straight game, $40.
I'll have to check that out.
Other minor news, we talked about the Batman Returns to Arkham. There's the remaster of the first two games. Is delayed.
No.
What a surprise! An Arkham game gets delayed.
Yeah,
they're supposed to come out next month. They pushed it off to who knows when.
Oh, okay.
So that's that.
I probably wasn't going to get it anyway.
I'm not either.
I'm more likely to get the BioShock remake.
Yeah.
Remaster.
I probably won't get it either. But last little news, this is something I just read today. So a Ford dealership in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Okay.
You're probably wondering where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Used artwork from Firewatch in one of their email ads.
Really?
Yeah.
Artwork
without the permission of Ollie Moss.
Ollie Moss did a ton of the work.
You've probably seen it. It's the red and orange, and it's got the tower in the middle, watchtower in the middle. And
they used that as sort of.
They used it in a Ford advertisement without permission from.
And they got caught.
Well, yeah, without permission from Ollie.
Well,
Moss,
people do stuff like that all the time, and just a lot of times they get away with it. But like, I don't know if it's a big enough ad thing, somebody's gonna notice.
Well, it's an email thing. It's like a mass email.
So a
lot of people got it.
Well, like I don't know how many times I've seen people steal like. There's a restaurant in our town that has ads on a table.
Yeah.
And one of the ads, it's not there anymore because they've redone it, and they got rid of it. But they had a picture of Mater from Pixar, Cars, the Pixar's movie Cars. But they'd taken off his eyes and his mouth, but he's just like the tow truck. I'm like, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, that's Mater.
Yeah,
and I showed it to Mom or somebody, and they were like, no, it's not. And I pulled up the exact image they copied. I'm like, that's it. They just took out the eyes and stuff.
It's kind of a subliminal thing,
yeah.
I guess. And it's
I was just like, that's...
Ford they've responded and said the dealerships are independently owned, and they had nothing to do with it.
Of course. Yeah, so, someone at the dealership did
it.
Whoever did their graphics.
Probably going to be a lawsuit, I wouldn't doubt.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because it's one of those things where it's not like, you got to take that down. It's email.
Yeah.
It was massively sent out.
Yeah.
So
there's no taking it back.
So
there's no taking it down.
So
don't steal people's stuff.
Stop stealing people's art. We're artists ourselves. Don't steal people's art.
Don't steal people's art.
Don't do that. That's just wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, even if it's really good art.
It's really good.
Ollie Moss
does
like great stuff.
Go and ask the person.
They'll probably
let you
pay them to make them,
or pay them to make them something for you, or they'll probably let you do it. Just ask them. It's
ask permission.
Just
they
ask.
were doing the ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Yeah, so they'll probably have to pay some money. I'm sure they should.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Yes.
To everyone, it's a happy 4th of July. Everyone in America, United States of A.
Have a safe holiday.
Enjoy the hot dogs and fires and fireworks, whatever it is you do. And everyone else, our international, listeners, have a good day anyway.
Yes.
I know it's nothing significant, special to you, but enjoy it.
Yes.
Have a hot dog if you feel inclined.
Yes.
As always, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play. You can go to our website at deafndumb.com, DEAFNDUMB.com, and at the top of the page you can see all the links to our Facebook page, Twitter. Email us if you want to. No one ever does, but if you feel like it, you can. All our episodes are listed there, and as always, we'll update every week on Monday. And thank you for listening. I'm Dan May.
And I'm Dudley May, and this has been Deaf and Dumb.